in your professional opinion, Lorenzo, is social media something that businesses can ignore anymore? Can they afford to not be on social media? What are your thoughts?
This is a really important question. Social media has become a must for any SME, startup, entrepreneur, or even for big companies. Nowadays, if you don't have a presence in social media, I can almost say you're a nobody. Social media is the place where all eyes are. In the past, traditionally, we used to think, traditional media, newspapers, magazines, companies will look, where is my target audience? Where are the eyes of the people looking at? And it used to be those places, newspapers, magazines, radio. Now, where is the footfall? Where are people's eyes on? It's on social media. It has become the easiest, cheapest, most cost-effective way of reaching a target audience in the fastest possible way. But it needs to be done in a very effective and professional manner, because the space has become crowded and it has become difficult for companies and anybody to really stand out from this crowded space. Okay?
That's a fabulous way of looking at it. Everybody's online, eyeballs are online, and I think that just brings me nicely to the next question. If everybody is online, if everybody is spending time on social media, why are all businesses not able to convert their social media presence into sales? Why is it that people are posting so many things that is not eventually becoming customers and business?
We need to remember that as the same way as in traditional media, in online marketing or advertising, there are two main objectives. One of them is the branding side of it, and the other one is the lead generation part, where we're expecting a conversion to come from our action in the advertising. But still, when we promote and we advertise on online and digital marketing, there are those two angles. We need to remember that there is an important component of branding. People get to see our brand on there, our image, our logo, our company values are reflected on this. Now, on the conversion part of things, it is true that it's super important to have a very strict and efficient pipeline management on how you're handling these incoming sorts of leads. It is estimated that depending on the industry that you're in, I hear conversions that could go from as little as 1%, 4%, 5%, to up to 10% of the total leads that get generated that become what we call opportunities, qualified leads that are actually people that are looking for our products and services. So first step is, who do you have qualifying? How do you go about the qualification? In many businesses, even including ours, we have a dedicated resource that spends time in qualifying and filtering out the people. Maybe you have the job seekers and people that are looking for opportunities that are not, related to the adverts and the reasons that why we're putting those adverts out. That is the first phase of the qualification. The second phase is, who is the next person that is getting in touch? How do you follow up? Do you follow up with an email? Do you follow up with a phone call? What happens after the phone call? And not even that only. 2-3 weeks later, what happens? Is there another emailer that goes out? Is there another WhatsApp message that gets automatic? Now that name goes into a database. What do you do with that? Do you add them into your newsletter at the end of the month? And not only newsletter, what do you send them? Do you send them general information? Do you send them new promotions about your products and services? There is an entire pipeline of approaches that you do to that one contact, and how you really effectively manage that journey is what really makes the difference between converting 1%, 5%, or 10%.
I love the way that you've stitched it all together. I mean, for anybody that is looking for an answer, this is a 2-minute masterclass, because it not only begins with content. Everybody is so fixated on content that it looks like that's all people are believing is necessary. But the way that you've put it, that content then leads to a contact. The contact then becomes a connection through the communication that goes on. That communication then creates the cash in the register customer. So it's a loop, it's a constant loop. So you can't just be pushing out content. If you're not doing all of these things, you'll never get customers. It's a brilliant way of putting it. Thank you so much. That actually brings me to a very important question, which is specifically for you, Lorenzo, because we've seen what you've done at Creative Zone since you've come. And at the helm of the business, you've helped transform the business with a brand persona that is very much now a leadership position, a knowledge leadership positioning, a content leadership positioning that comes from you. So maybe you can help our audience understand, what is the role of the leader? The face of the brand, the face of the business, the face of the knowledge leadership. What else is there? Because this itself you're doing exceptionally well. But if you can share a few words about this, I'm sure our audience would love to hear about that.
Being in the public eye is not for everybody. I do believe that having a combination of having a leader that has the ability of being out there in the media and to combine that with a strong brand identity as a company, the two put together really create an equation of a very positive sort of outreach of when the message gets out. You have examples of Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, although very, with certain, I mean, not everybody likes maybe Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, but whenever you have that leadership identity that is combined to a brand, it really gives you the opportunity to define in some way what are the values of your entity, because it gets projected in everything you say, on how you dress, on how you communicate. You have the opportunity of talking about what are your values as a company. But it's a double-edged sword. I mean, because if you're not coming across as the way that you think you are, and you think that people like you, but in the end they're not. I mean, even what's happening right now to Facebook and the downward that they had, and I think it plays to the idea that he's been a little bit special on the way he has been dealing with the public, with the people. And now people are not being very friendly at saying, oh, you just invested, I don't know how many $1 billion on Meta, and the metaverse is not really working out.
Exactly.
So, but then you might have other people like Elon Musk himself, right? So I do believe, especially for startups and entrepreneurs, if you have the ability of being out there in the media, and you can combine it with a strong brand identity, it's a real opportunity to really showcase who you are as a company.
Thank you very much for that last piece of advice, because brand credibility is one of the most important things that brands need to focus on, businesses need to focus on, and they've got to build it. And there's no better brand building than bringing the leader on board and helping the brand be associated with the leader itself. That will build incredible credibility. But I think it goes back to the point that you made, that do the leaders have that capability? And are they getting out of their shell? And I'm really happy that we have this chance as management to partner with CZ and bring these capabilities to the region, because there's so many incredible businesses that are not holistically represented by the leaders of the business. And I think overall this has been a fabulous set of questions. Thank you very much for sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have. You are a template of how businesses need to run as Creative Zone, but you are an example of a leader for everybody else that needs to follow as well. So thank you very much for your time. And to the audience, it's been a pleasure being here with Lorenzo at Creative Zone. Stay tuned to see what else is coming from our side. Thank you very much.